I've encountered a lot of people in my time, and without wanting to sound really judgmental, a lot of them have behaved in a very entitled way. And I also hate to say, a lot of them have been very, very pessimistic and negative pricks who, throughout our relationships, felt it their place to give lots of instructions about how I should live and what I should do and who I should mix with. And you know, the temptation is to imagine myself in the same position with those people however many years or decades ago and tell them to go fuck themselves. And you know, saying it out loud, there is a sort of satisfaction in it. But you know what? The ego really wants you to fight. The ego wants you to perpetuate war of any kind, even if it's just with other people. And you know, I'm going to teach them a lesson like they tried to teach me a lesson. And then you slow down and think, well, that would make me the same as them. That would make me no better than them. There's no morality or virtue in perpetuating needless battles with other people, but many do it. And I think the reality that you find is that as you go through life and you spend time with more and more people and you see how they behave, well, the path of many, frankly, that I'm finding is that we go our own ways. We spend more time in solitude, and I think that's probably what this period of history is going to be characterized by, is more and more people realizing that we've been living for however many years or decades in a perpetual state of war where we're being pitted against each other all the time, and not really through any fault of their own, but a huge amount of people getting completely embroiled and lost in that of my way is the best way, so you must all behave like this so it's more convenient for me so that I can get what I want, and I'm going to criticize you for wanting to behave in a peaceful and harmonious way. Because I have to say, in the last few weeks of truly desiring peace in my own life, the amount of people that have thrown insults, oh God, you're so soft and you're so weak, and I just think, okay, I just don't want war to be in the world. And well, not even that, I just don't want to contribute to war anymore. Oh, but you've got to pick a side, Martin, you've got to choose. And I think, well, do I have to choose the options that you're laying at my door? Well, the answer is no. No is a very, very, very important word. I recently detailed an interaction with a couple of guys that I had a sales pitch from. And the younger of the two lads, being just rather bitchy towards me, frankly, and summarily blocking the two of them, because our energy is really, really important, and how we maintain our own lives is crucial if we're going to fulfill our own destinies and actually embody our own callings. And I think that's what all of the great philosophies of peacefulness have actually done, is to show you that you might walk a more solitary life, but I think that you will have far more virtue in doing that, because you're part of, you know, the next stage of humanity. I think we've forgotten humanity, and I feel I met with my cousin the other day, and she and I say it again, we have completely different world views. But what I want to learn to do is to learn where said worldviews come from, so that I know that I'm not falling into thought traps, or that I'm acting unkindly towards myself and thus to others. You know, I'm an incredibly curious person, and I am understanding. And I've been relating this sort of off and on recently, that the big difference now is that I have compassion for myself and for others, but when married with actual boundaries, it becomes a very powerful position to be in, because there's nothing more important than understanding how people function, because we all encounter each other, you know, and all of the people, and this is my compassion speaking, genuine, deep compassion, all the people who have said horrible things to me, insulted me, and been incredibly dictatorial about how I should live, well, I understand their backgrounds, because they talked about themselves endlessly, including how they wanted me to behave, which is nothing to do with me, that's just them. I understood, you know, where they were coming from, because they had hugely dysfunctional backgrounds, and, you know, they had families that had split, and their siblings that didn't get along with, and parents that they'd been at loggerheads with. So I completely get it. But I'm far quicker now to decide whether I'm going to keep relationships going or not. And it's been incredibly helpful, actually. It's been incredibly positive, because I'm starting to actually mix with people with whom I have a real affinity, and we support each other. And the more that we do that, the more that we follow our own natural and authentic paths, the better things become. Because when you're out there, and I'm relating all of my stuff and what I'm learning as I progress in life, well, the more people like that flock to each other, the more of an example it is to other people. This is something that I say a lot, but I can't say it enough, and I can't overstate it. We fundamentally doubt and underestimate and so often ignore the vast influence that we can have as individuals, which is why, you know, the great religions of the world, Christianity foremost, always focuses in on what the individual can do, our connection with divinity, with God, and, you know, with our origins. And it's why when you actually start to really live authentically and genuinely, your life becomes better, and you become useful, genuinely useful. So believe in yourself, trust yourself. This is something I say all the time, and start to value your own contributions. Thank you very much for listening. Please do like and subscribe and share to spread the love, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Ciao for now.